Hey guys, what's going on? So today I got some new parts. The Rally Road oil feed and banjo bolt adapter came in. So it'll actually come in two separate pieces. I checked it, no fitment issues. So today we're gonna install it. If there's some noise because of the rain, sorry, but where it goes is right here. It is a 19 millimeter, so just grab a 19 mil wrench and then just break it loose. It might be a little tight, but then it should be able to come out by hand. It's really not that hard. The way the new piece goes on, so you pull this back, it through like that, and then you can thread it in. Just make sure you thread it in correctly, but it should go right in. And just snug it up. I don't think it has to be particularly way too tight. You don't want to break anything, but definitely don't want it to shake loose or anything, so get it nice and tight. There we go. And you just thread it in. Easily go on. Now I don't recommend an adjustable wrench, but I'm a little lazy, so I don't want to go pull out my other wrench, so just snug that up as well. But this is how I'm going to run the line. It fits perfectly on the turbo. It goes right about there. There's a little more room if you go like this. In the other video, I clocked the turbo. It fits pretty much perfectly. I would thread it on, but the turbo's not going to stay here. The oil feed line is installed. I highly recommend it. It's like $56. You can get it at Seems Legit Garage. I can add a link in the description below for the exact part I got. It's he just sends out both the line and the adapter. For oil, that's pretty much all you need. If it's just an oil-cooled and lubricated turbo, such as this. It's also water-cooled, but you don't specifically have to use it. So I'm gonna cut this in right now. A couple things that I didn't mention is that if you have your intake manifold on, of course, getting access is gonna be a lot harder. What I think you'll have to do is take off the power steering reservoir, and then you could probably get under the intake manifold to get to it. And while the engine's out, I've decided that I'm going to upgrade the clutch. I said I was going to do stock clutch, but I realized I don't want to do the same work twice. The engine and trans are right here. It'll be super easy to do it while it's out. So I went ahead and ordered a cheap eBay clutch kit. It's a dual mass flywheel, and it's like $230. Super cheap, but it says it'll hold like 430 torque or something like that. Something ridiculous that doesn't sound real. I was gonna get a more expensive one, but I decided to try this out because it's outrageous, and if it works for a turbo car, that's awesome, because for the price, that's ridiculous. If it's crap, I'm just gonna put the stock one back in, or I'll get something a lot better, because there's no point in putting the stock one back in if I'm gonna have boost, because it's just gonna slip, it's just gonna cause issues. I also found a ZF transmission for a really good price, so hopefully I'll be picking that up in the near future. I talked to the guy about going to see it this week, so I'm gonna be doing that. Things are really coming together and I'm really excited. It's just really about waiting for parts. Like I said, I ordered that clutch kit, so the engine isn't gonna go in until I get it, but it should be here in the next week. It's actually gonna be here before the oil line fitting will be. And I'm actually going to order the wideband O2 and an AEM boost gauge. So hopefully I can get some good shipping on that. So in preparation for the clutch coming in, I'm gonna take the trans off now just to make things a lot easier. You're gonna use Torx. I recommend going to Harbor Freight and picking this up. It's really helpful. I pretty much used it since I got BMWs and I've had no issues. So I think you use an E12, E14, and possibly an E16. The trans off, a big thing, and I usually always forget about it, there's a 10 millimeter right here that holds this plate to the transmission. So to get the clutch off, you have to get the pressure plate off, which is a 6 millimeter Allen. We broke them all loose, so it's nice and easy, but you're gonna have to lock the flywheel in place. So I just had him hold it with a hammer, which sounds stupid, but it works, so it's not stupid.
My name is Tim.
Yeah, he's a big help. Nobody ever helps. So it does look like it was replaced recently. But the clutch looks toast. So I'm really glad I'm replacing it. It's not all that bad, but there's a lot of heat on both sides. and especially the flywheel because it's got a lot of heat soak. So it's really like right here, there's a lot of wear, like you can feel it. So if I were to put this clutch back in or even get a new clutch and no new flywheel, it would just destroy the clutch. Because that's one thing, you shouldn't replace the clutch and not the flywheel, because the flywheel is just going to wear the clutch out prematurely. You want to do both at the same time. I still have to get the flywheel off. I'm going to use my friend's impact gun to do it, because it's kind of a pain to do it without an impact. It's possible. Like I said, it's just a pain. So it's going to be easier to do it that way. I have to wait for the clutch kit anyway, because that's not coming for a few more days. Hey guys, what's going on? So it's Friday. The clutch came in early. I was super excited until I opened it. So I ordered it. Obviously, it's supposed to come with a clutch disc. It did not. It came with everything but the actual disc itself. Came with the flywheel, came with the pressure plate. No disc. So I emailed them. It kind of sucks. My friend dropped off his tools, so I'm going to get the old flywheel off. It's super unfortunate. How do you send a clutch and a flywheel with no clutch disc? What am I supposed to do with this? Literally, I could put this on as is, and it's literally gonna make no power to the wheels because it's just gonna slip. So I mean, it's not a big deal. It came for like 5 days early, but still, you know, I got super excited, rushed home from work, and literally didn't come with a freaking clutch. It's insane. I mean, everything else looks good. The flywheel looks good. Came with everything else it needed to. So I'm gonna install the flywheel today, and then I'm gonna wait for them to get back to me. So I'm gonna start off by getting the old flywheel off. To try and make things easier, I'm using an impact. I'm using a 19mm impact socket. Difficult to record and hold a really nice impact, but pretty easy to get off with an impact. So just do that to the rest of them. So I got all of the bolts out. It really wasn't that difficult. It took me like a minute at most. So I got the flywheel off. I just gently tapped it and then kind of pulled it. A lot of clutch stuff. Hey guys, what's going on? It's the next day. This week's been kind of crappy with parts coming in and being wrong and stuff. So I was messing with it, and it looks like the new flywheel doesn't have a deeper hole for the dowel on the crank. So this flywheel will not fit unless you were to remove that dowel. I had and bought a Clutch Masters FX300 clutch off of somebody on Facebook. He bought it, never used it. So I got a really good deal on that. It's coming Monday, but like I said, I'm gonna return this kit, so I need a new flywheel, and that means the engine can't go in. It sucks. You know, stuff happens. I had a guy come and help me. A guy, and he knocked out the dowel, so I'm just gonna run it like that. I mean, if I have any issues, I have issues. I'm gonna take out the get rag in probably a couple weeks anyway, so I'll address it then. But I think I'm just gonna use the eBay flywheel because the clutch comes on Monday, and I don't want to deal with buying a new $500 flywheel and waiting for it to ship, and it might not come in because obviously they don't like to send the correct parts. But I'm gonna put the flywheel on, then we're gonna grind down. Actually, I decided to grind down the manifold instead of the head. I figured that would be a little easier. And then put the manifold on, and then when the clutch comes in, the engine will go in. So Billy just left. He also dropped off my new ZF transmission. I ended up picking it up for $150. Apparently, it's good. Hey, who sold it to me, we talked a few times afterwards, so I trust it. But like I said, I'm going to be putting the get rag in at first because the clutch comes in Monday, and I was able to get the flywheel on. It's not fully installed. I just put the bolts in to double check fitment. I have to get some thread locker or whatever, and the clutch comes in on Monday. And so I was looking harder, and it looks like, so I started to burr some of the edge, and it looks like this might be the entire issue I was having. So there's this, you can see how it curves, but because the manifold's too tall, right on this curve right here is where it's getting really bad. I'd still like to burr down the edge as much as I can, but I took a lot off the turbo manifold. So if I can get this down, I might be able to sit it flush. And then I'm also going to Scotch Brite the surface, make sure everything mounts correctly. So I'm going to work on that a little bit, but I'm not going to mess with it too much just because I'm still waiting for the clutch. And I think I'm going to upload the video as is. I know it's kind of all over the place. Things were back and forth. Like I said, I had that dowel, which I ended up taking out, if you're wondering, hammering it a little bit, and it came out. I might get like a smaller dowel that'll fit in because I don't want to have any vibration issues. But like I said, I will be changing the get rag with the ZF. So if I do have any issues, I'll figure it out then. I still haven't gotten a response from the seller for the clutch kit because, like I said, it didn't come with a clutch disc, which sucks because I actually could throw it in right now. Then if I had any issues, I could throw the new clutch in. But no clutch disc, no response. All I have is a flywheel and that. So I might return just that and get a refund and hopefully keep the flywheel. So the flywheel looks fine. It's just a hunk of metal in my opinion. As long as it's balanced and fits correctly, that's all that matters to me. I also cleaned up the block a little bit. So I've been kind of picking away at it, but with parts coming in wrong and stuff. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. One more thing about the oil feed is you'll probably have oil in your engine, so oil might leak out when you undo it. Just keep that in mind. Keep some towels there. Try and do it quickly. Forgot to mention that because I don't have oil in my engine right now. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.